Sexual deviancy. No one dies from the first dose of cocaine or methamphetamine. The first dose is often small, taken cautiously, and produces euphoria. Then comes the second dose, a little larger, then larger and larger. The dosage gradually increases until the required dose for achieving euphoria becomes precisely the lethal dose. Talking about the destruction of individuals due to their pursuit of sexual pleasure is kind of a taboo topic in Western civilization. After all, it's related to the sacred cow, personal freedom. The Western citizen knows very well that 1 out of every 4 children in the United States grows up without a father, meaning more than 18 million children. The reason is casual relationships in which fathers leave mothers to face their fate alone with the child. But the unspoken truth is that the pursuit of pleasure through sexual deviance destroys the individual first and foremost before it destroys society. The key word is dopamine. At first, the brain becomes accustomed to doses of dopamine triggered by natural sexual activity. Then, it starts demanding larger and larger doses. The obsessed individual thus seeks a new type of pleasure, imagining that the next station is the last. Here's the astonishing and shocking statistic. In 2017, Gallup conducted a study on the percentage of American citizens who identified themselves as part of the LGBT community. The result was that 4.5% of citizens identified themselves in this way. This percentage seems astronomical compared to any other country. But that's not the shocking part. 4 years later, in 2021, another report stated that the percentage had risen to 5.6%, an increase of 1.1% in just 4 years. But then, in 2022, the percentage rose to 7.1%. This is impossible since societal changes don't happen this rapidly, especially considering that the population increases by less than 1.5% annually, meaning a certain number of people changed their answers during that year. Regardless of whether this contradicts their theory that sexual orientations cannot be controlled and that they are inherent, it indicates an important thing. The spread of sexual deviancy and the absence of restrictions have made the new generation chase new and different sexual satisfactions. Natural sexual activity is no longer enough to release the dopamine they crave. Just as the pursuit of drug-induced euphoria ends in death, the pursuit of dopamine ends in AIDS or depression. Pursuing instant pleasure destroys a person's happiness in the long run, and their happiness depends on their ability to resist the allure of momentary pleasures. This does not mean that Islam prohibits a person from enjoying lawful desires. On the contrary, the Prophet, peace be upon him, encouraged the youth to get married. He said, "O young people, whoever among you is able to marry, should marry, for it restrains the eyes and protects the private parts. But whoever is unable, then he should fast, for it is a means of diminishing desire." Narrated in Bukhari and Muslim. Parallel to providing lawful means to satisfy desires, Islam has legislated severe penalties for those who deviate. These penalties are criticized by the West as barbaric, not taking individual freedom into consideration. The truth is, these penalties are what protected Islamic societies from degradation into the depths of promiscuity and sexual deviation. These are laws that Muslims take pride in. In fact, if a Muslim falls into such sins, they demand that the prescribed punishment be carried out as a purification for themselves. Allah, the Most High, is the one who created humans and instilled in them sexual desires, and then He defined the proper way to satisfy them.